Hello, Business Law 1. Welcome to the next lecture on the topic of capacity, one of the elements to establish an enforceable contract. There's only three topics that we're going to cover with regards to capacity: the effects of incapacity, the infancy doctrine, and then mentally incompetent. All right, when we talk about effects of capacity, we're really looking on the void and voidability aspect of a contract. So, for example, as it applies to minors, a minor is anybody beneath the age of 18. Okay, once you reach the age of 18, you're considered the age of majority. All right, and so long as you're a minor, that means your contract is voidable, which means you can get out of the contract. Once you reach the age of 18 and you sign a contract, then the contract is not voidable, but enforceable. All right? Now, if the contract was illegal in nature, then it would be void on its face. But here, we're talking about capacity and the ability for a minor to enter into a contract. They can enter into a contract, but it's not enforceable against them. That's why I always restate a rule in class: never contract with a minor. All right, because your contract is only as good to the point that they want to be obliged or obligated to it. So that leads us to the next topic, which is the infancy doctrine. All right, the infancy doctrine is just what I stated, that the theory behind the law is that the state wants to protect children against unscrupulous adults who might take advantage of them. So in order to do that, they consider anybody under the age of 18 of lacking capacity. All right, so that's the background there. With question for you: if you're a minor and you're getting ready to contract with an adult, and the adult wants you to ratify, that is, reaffirm that you're going to complete this contract, and you sign a ratification agreement, does that obligate the minor to fulfill their obligations? Well, the answer is no, because if you're still a minor, you still lack capacity even to sign a ratification agreement. So, if you do sign a contract while you're a minor and then become 18 or of the age of majority, you can then ratify your contract. That is, you can then either sign an additional agreement or act as though you are in compliance with the contract that you signed as a minor, and that would in effect ratify the contract, which means it would make it binding on the person who was once a minor. All right. So when a minor wants to get out of a contract, that's called disaffirmance, which is basically vocabulary. Now I would like to talk about when a minor disaffirms, what are the obligations of the parties? Let me repeat that. Okay, you've contracted, let's say I sold a car to you and you're 17. Okay, what are the obligations of both the minor and the obligations of the adult in that situation? All right. Well, follow me with you on the outline, the PowerPoint outline, and we're at 1.4 where it says restitution or restoration. Well, the competent party, in this example, me, okay, I have the duty of restitution. That means I need to put the minor back into the position they were in prior to entering the contract. So, if Junior, the 17-year-old, buys the car for $15,000 from the adult, Junior has, normally used it, and it's depreciated now down to $10,000, and now Junior wants to return that car. What must the adult do? The adult must pay Junior $15,000 back. All right, that's why you do not contract with a minor. What's the minor's duty in that situation? As a general rule, the minor has the duty of restoration. That means the minor needs only return the vehicle that they received from the adult in whatever condition it's in. So if the car is destroyed, no fault of the minor, like they didn't intentionally try to destroy it, the minor still gets their $15,000 back. That's why we say never contract with a minor. So there's all sorts of minors driving cars. How did they get those cars? They had their parents co-sign so that if the minor wanted to disaffirm or to stop payments, the car dealer would go after the adult. All right. Moving on, what's the parent's liability on the minor's contract? Well, as a general rule, the parents are not liable for the contracts made by their minor children unless, one, they co-signed, or two, the minor committed some type of tort or other wrongful act associated with the contract at the direction of both parents. If that's the case, then the parent is liable for the minor's contracts. Now there is a special rule with regards to emancipated minors. An emancipated minor is a minor who has left the parent's care and is living on their own, working on their own, and buying their own necessities. Well, the parents have no duty to the minor if the minor is emancipated, lives apart from the parents, unless the minor is buying necessities. A necessity would be like, food, clothing, hospital, shelter. If the emancipated minor is paying for any of these necessities, then the parent is liable for reasonable expense of those necessities. Final point in this group of slides is the mentally incompetent. That is, what if you're drugged up, or you're under the influence of alcohol, or what if you just lack mental incapacity for some mental condition that you're in? Well, there's two categories: void contracts and voidable contracts. If you have been adjudged by a court of law where the judge has determined or ruled that you are mentally incompetent and they've appointed a guardian or a conservator, then any contract the individual enters into is void on its face. If, however, the court has not ruled on an individual, but you have nonetheless lack capacity because of mental illness or some type of substance abuse, then the contract could be voidable if the individual can establish that they lacked capacity at the time they entered into a contract. Then it would be voidable. And all these things would have to be fleshed out in a hearing with the facts. All right? So that's just sort of the last add-on too. All right, just those three cases, or three situations with regards to capacity. You can expect about 10 questions in that area for exam purposes. Thank you.